Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Your host, Fred Arnold, on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. Want to have this segment with Alex Urbina on life excellence and really talk about life excellence. Alex is my coach. He's a veteran in the areas of human potential. He's helped our company and our employees reach the next level. Myself personally, he's currently embarked on a newest venture as a radio personality on Fridays with his beautiful daughter, Jasmine. And so he's all about looking at the potential you have every day. I want to talk to you today about something that was really important to us, Alex. And recently we went on a retreat in Las Vegas and took all of our employees, and we talked about two different topics. One is, do you play to win or do you play not to lose? And so I want to talk about, Alex, playing not to lose and how some people just play it safe. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me here. I think that when it comes to when we're in business and we take on challenges, we bring our leadership abilities to every scenario. And if you haven't learned leadership abilities or you haven't developed leadership qualities about yourself, you're going to bring some hesitance to the game, so to speak. And if no one's really kind of mentored you, or you never learned in a rigorous way to really have the kind of confidence and the courage to risk it all and to go for the gold and to dive in there and to trust yourself. And if you haven't really learned those things and mastered those, you're gonna step into scenarios and challenges very hesitant. You're gonna tippy toe in. You're gonna kind of look in and peek in rather than just diving all in. So what we did was, in some of the leadership trainings that I used to coach, we developed kind of a curriculum to kind of measure where you're at. And what we would do is we would play a rigorous 3-month game, and then at a certain point, halfway through the completion of the game, we would evaluate ourselves, and we get the team to kind of vote for each one of us depending on where they thought we fell in those two categories. And it was pretty, it was an amazing experience to find out how you're being rated by your peers, and to have people rate you that you're playing not to lose is kind of a gut check sometimes.
It is, and playing not to lose under some circumstances could be appropriate, could be fitting.
Yeah.
The problem is we get so comfortable with the water being warm. We get so comfortable with what we're used to.
Yeah, playing not to lose in certain scenarios actually is a benefit for you. You just don't want to default there to where you realize and wake up one day and figure out that 10 years have gone by and you've defaulted there and you've resigned there. Yeah. You've resignated to just, this is the way I'm going to live my life, is playing not to lose. You want to be operating fully from playing to win all the time, and then make some course corrections depending on what scenario comes up, so that you're not, you can't play to win 100% full tilt all the time, because you're going to probably pay some heavy prices on some individual choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about some of the characteristics of that.
Right.
That I highlighted, and we have them back behind the screen here. It might be tough to see on video, but I'll repeat it. We're playing it safe. As an Ironman athlete, sometimes you got to jump into the cold water, and that's tough to do. But once you do it, how refreshing is it?
Yeah, and I think that you just trusting that inside the water, you're gonna deal with whatever cold and pain comes with it, rather than trying to psychoanalyze from the outside looking at it. Because what you can do is you can really talk yourself out of it. Mm-hmm. And what I've found is that when you see some value there, you just dive in and then trust that you'll figure it out from inside, rather than trying to figure it out from the outside, because I hardly never figure it out from the outside. I got to just look for value. If I see it, I dive in, and then I end up figuring it out from within inside of it.
Yeah, make it happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes people worry about what's going to go wrong versus what great outcome you can have for jumping in.
Absolutely. I think that, one of the main things that as human beings is that we worry too much. We worry about stuff that 90% of the time never happens. And then we talk ourselves out of stuff, rather than, holding on to the perspective of it's going to happen. I'm going to figure it out. I do believe in my capability and what I'm capable of creating.
Doesn't the growth come, though, in that 10% of the time where it doesn't turn out the way you were looking, but you can grow from it?
You can grow from anything. You can grow from every. I look at every possibility in your life, or any challenge, or any mistake, or fall, or failure, even successes. You can always look back and find the value from it if you're willing to see it like that. That's where the perspective shifting comes in.
This is one of the biggest ones, is feeling worried or anxious about things that don't go as planned. A lot of people, they want to control everything, myself included, on the outcome. On the outcome of what my children will say, on the outcome of a great night out, on the outcome of a business deal. I'm so consumed with that outcome being as planned.
Yeah, I think that one of the major insecurities that we have as human beings, and it's actually an inner addiction that we have, and that's to be in control. Having it look the way that I have already visualized it
And painted it.
And this was funny because when I was a kid, a young man, I was really heavy into photography. That was my dream, to be a photographer. And I used to go and shoot weddings all the time. I'd be a photographer and shoot all the weddings that I could in the whole San Fernando Valley. And I learned something very powerful, and it was a powerful distinction, and it was most women, when they're little girls, visualize their wedding being the most spectacular day in their life.
Magnificent.
They visualized it probably a million times. And they set themselves up to fail because that day is never going to look anything close to any version that they've created in their mind, because they don't account for Uncle Jack getting drunk and vomiting, or
The flowers not being
your mom and dad arguing because no one paid for stuff, and so they don't take in a fact that life unfolds the way you create it, not the way you visualize it all the time. You might get close to it, but it's never going to be exactly like that. So you can't have a plan and stick to it like this is gold. You got to be willing to be flexible on. You want to have a game plan and a vision to get it towards that direction and that area, but be unattached to having it look exactly the way you want it.
In fact, look forward to the outcome being different than what you
That's
thought
right,
it would be,
that's
because
right.
it could be more magnificent than you thought it would be.
Yeah, like my vision when I was 21 was to change the world and make a difference in the world and help people grow. And I never in a million years had that vision look like me being on the radio ever. Yeah. So I had to be open to whatever possibilities unfolded for me, and it steered me towards, getting on the radio. And like I said, I had to just be open to that and not attached and rigid to, no, it has to look like this.
And now your magnificence is there.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So we talked about playing not to lose. We're going to jump to a quick break, but when we come back, let's talk about those characteristics on playing to win.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.